Congratulations, Brianna, you have won the golden power of Veto. Okay, so Calvin has been saved by Brianna, the veto being used for the 4th consecutive week in a row. So Jenna has named Adelaide as the replacement nominee. HouseGuests, the votes are in, and for the first time this season, with a 2-2 vote, we have a tie. However, tonight, the first 4 evicted HouseGuests will re-enter the house and compete in 3 previously seen head of household competitions, where one of them will earn the right to re-enter the game. Little trip there, and Derek is the first HouseGuest off. Cody, you have been eliminated. And we are at the end of the competition. Congratulations, Aubrey, you will be re-entering the game. Hello and welcome to Let's Play Big Brother 1. I'm Startup Simsy and it is day 15 inside the Big Brother house. And we have just seen, after Adelaide got evicted from the Big Brother house, it was announced that the first 4 evicted house guests would compete in a battle back competition. So that was Derek, Cody, Aubrey and Adelaide. And the winner of that was Aubrey. So Aubrey has returned into the game. She's now in the top 7 and she has a chance to win it all. Let's check in with the house guests. So Aubrey, well, she has just actually soiled herself after all those competitions, but she is just going to have a bath. She's obviously got quite a bit of work to do. She only has like, you know, a few days worth. I think she was evicted day 8, so 8 days worth of relationships, and she has 0 relationships with Jenna because they have not played the game together. Jenna entered the game straight after Aubrey was evicted, so Aubrey really needs to put in some work now and play the game socially. Ideally, probably needs to win the head of household just to make sure she can create those alliances. We've got to remember that when she was evicted, it was Jaren who was head of household. She was nominated side by side with Adelaide. Brianna then used the power of veto on Adelaide, and Deacon was named as the replacement nominee. The only person to vote for Aubrey to stay at eviction was Brianna, so she could try to work with Brianna, maybe work with Brianna and Jenna, seeing as they seem to be working quite well together. But yeah, so Aubrey is back in the game, which is very, very exciting because I wanted to see a bit more from Aubrey actually. So coming up on today's episode, we catch up with the house guests over the last 24 hours. We also have the new head of household competition, which will be happening first thing tomorrow morning. And we have the nomination ceremony, which house guests will win the power to nominate 2 of their fellow house guests for potential eviction from the Big Brother house. So Calvin's heading off to bed. Quite a few house guests are heading on to bed now. It's been quite a long day with the battle back competition. Jenna is just contemplating things at the dining table. She's now also heading to bed. She does get one more night in that head of household bedroom, which is very exciting for her, but she has to lap it up because she's not able to win that power tomorrow in the competition. Jaren is having a swim in the swimming pool. Jaren's probably the most nervous house guest in the house at the moment. He was the head of household that costed Aubrey her place in the house the first time on day 8. So he's probably thinking that she's going to come back with a little bit of a vengeance. So he will definitely want to probably try and at least win the power in the next head of household competition. Deacon is in bed sleeping. Aubrey is back in her original bed and she is now asleep also. It is day 16 inside the Big Brother house, and the house guests are starting to wake up to a brand new day with Aubrey returning into the game. We've got Jenna up here playing chess with herself, probably just contemplating her next game move. She obviously cannot win the power in the upcoming Head of Household competition. Deacon, Brianna and Calvin are in the storeroom having breakfast. Okay, so without further ado, I think it's time to start the Head of Household competition. House guests, please make your way to the challenge area for today's Head of Household competition. House guests, the power is back up for grabs. 3 from the threat of eviction, the new Head of Household will have the power to nominate 2 of their fellow house guests for potential eviction from the Big Brother house. Jenna, as outgoing Head of Household, you are not eligible to compete. This competition is simple. You'll be locked in a glass room with no toilet facilities, no food facilities, just a stereo and a fridge. You'll be able to dance to your heart's content or not, but if you do go into the fridge for anything at all, you will be eliminated from the game. The winner will be the last house guest who does not go into the fridge to claim anything and will become the new Head of Household. This competition begins now. Okay, so the house guests are locked in this room with nothing to do but to dance and talk to each other. They also have the temptation of going into this fridge, but will any of them do so? So Jaren and Calvin are using this as an opportunity to talk with each other. So is Brianna and Josie. A lot of dancing taking place. Aubrey's getting into the groove, but no one going to that fridge just yet. A good opportunity to build up some relationships in here. And Josie has gone into the fridge. Josie, you have been eliminated from the competition. Okay, so just 5 house guests remain. We've got Brianna, Jaren, Deacon, Calvin, and Aubrey. They're all dancing to the music. They don't get to listen to any music inside the house, so this is a welcome change for them. Oh, and Deacon has gone into the fridge. Deacon, you have been eliminated. Please leave the competition zone. Okay, so just 4 remain. We've got Jaren, Calvin, Aubrey, and Brianna. A few conversations taking place in here. Aubrey and Calvin are talking to each other. Brianna and Jaren are having a little dance. Calvin and Jaren having a conversation just there. Aubrey's just kind of observing at the moment. Who will be next to go into that fridge? Aubrey and Calvin having a conversation, catching up with each other on what's happened outside the house. Oh, and Jaren has gone into the fridge. Jaren, you have been eliminated from the competition. Please leave the challenge zone. Okay, so just 3 house guests remain. Calvin, Brianna, and Aubrey. Calvin's had a Head of Household before. Brianna's won 2 vetoes. Aubrey's just won the Battle Back competition. So they all have won competitions in this game. But who will win the title of Head of Household for round number 5? And it won't be Calvin, it looks like. Calvin goes into the fridge. Calvin, you have been eliminated from the competition. Please leave the challenge area immediately. Okay, so it remains just Brianna and Aubrey. One of these will become the next Head of Household. Neither of them have held the title as of yet. Brianna's obviously had those 2 veto wins under her belt, and Aubrey's had the challenge Battle Back competition under her belt. Only one of these can win the power this week. Who will it be? So both are giving it a good dance, but neither of them are going into the fridge as of yet. House guests that are eliminated from the competition so far are given this a good opportunity to have a conversation between themselves as well. So it does work in people's favour to be, either in the competition with certain people in the room or out of competition on the seats with certain people, helping develop those relationships. Oh, well, I thought Aubrey was about to go into the fridge, but she wants to have a conversation with Brianna. Giving her a little hug there. Neither of them showing any sign of going into the fridge as of yet. Oh! Is she gonna go in? Yes, Aubrey has gone into the fridge, which means congratulations, Brianna. You are the new head of household. There we have it. Brianna is the new head of household. Who will she nominate for eviction? She has just seen her ally Adelaide eliminated from the competition. So Brianna is our new head of household. She's had the title of Veto holder for 2 weeks now out of the 5. This is her first head of household reign. Let's have a look at her simology. So Brianna Carter is lazy. As we know, she's always sleeping. She's erratic, which we also know. She's hot-headed. So she really has traits that are kind of, 3 big negatives, and she's still in this game, which is quite something for her. She's got the fear of swimming, which is crazy because she is always in that pool, but she's obviously developed some sort of fear of that. And she's got the essence of flavour from choosing a food aspiration. Sims with the essence of flavour make higher quality food and drink. So that is your new head of household, Brianna. So people that should feel nervous this week that Brianna is in power, I'd say most probably would be Deacon, actually, because Deacon has nominated her in the past, named her as a replacement nominee in week 3 when he took his love interest / no longer love interest Jenna off the block and replaced her with Brianna. I also think that Jenna actually might be at risk this week also. Although she's talking to Brianna now, but Jenna was the person that did vote to evict Brianna in her eviction week. Now, that could be down to, Jenna came in with Cody. It was the first week that Cody was up. She felt an allegiance towards Cody. So Brianna may learn to forgive this. And they have been getting quite close because they were both kind of on the outside when Jenna first came into the house. And I think Jenna noticed that Brianna was also in her reign. So now she's in power, she might want to keep that one as a close ally. So Calvin and Josie are in the kitchen. Calvin's talking with his close ally, Deacon. Brianna's just kind of waiting in the living room, clearly just contemplating her next move. Jaren's come over to her to have a little bit of a conversation, probably just see where his head is at, see where her head is at, and if they have the possibility of working together this week. Josie is feeling quite sad, so she's gone to bed to have a little bit of a cry.
Yum.
Aubrey and Calvin are having a hug. Aubrey's really she came second in that competition, so she's clearly a bit of a threat, which Brianna might see, but she's also working people now. She's having a conversation with Deacon and Calvin, getting those kind of relationship gains that she so desperately needs, because she has had about 7 days not in this house. So Jaren and Brianna are having a conversation. Brianna is now tied with Deacon on the most competitions so far. Competition wins so far with 3 each. And then we've got Aubrey, Calvin, Jaren and Jenna all have 1 competition win. Josie is yet to win any competitions this week, but she does have an impeccable social game. Josie's just kind of watching everything from the balcony. She's like, oh, what's going on with everyone? Jenna and Jaren are having a conversation in the bedroom also now. Jenna kind of dips in and out of social interactions, it seems, in this season. She likes to have those conversations, but then she also likes to have her own space. You can see here that, you know, Jaren and Jenna do have quite a strong connection already in the house. We've got Deacon in the head of household ensuite, using the bathroom up there. Brianna and Josie having a conversation as well in one of the bedrooms. Oh, look where Aubrey's going. We've missed this, haven't we? I think she spent the first 8 days of her time in the house on this punching bag. She's been in 1 day and she's back on it. So nowhere I'd rather see her be, to be completely honest. She clearly is a bit of a competition beast. She's very athletic and she came second in that head of household competition. So she does have the, you know, she proved that she can kind of get those competitions. Jenna's making food on her own in the storeroom. I feel like Jenna and Deacon, I never ever see them speak anymore, even though they did have that kind of flirty, you know, interaction. A bit of a showmance for about 2 days, just while Jenna wanted to come off the block, and then bam, drops him like a hat, which is hilarious. Deacon and Brianna having a conversation. They don't have a great relationship, which is why, obviously, you know, Deacon did name Brianna as the replacement nominee. So he's probably trying to do a bit of damage control here, just have a conversation with her. I think everyone probably underestimated Brianna. She was on the outskirts, because she is erratic, she is hot-headed, she is lazy, she's always sleeping. But she clearly can win a competition when she needs to, and she's just guaranteed her spot in the final 6. Josie's just in the bathroom on her own. Aubrey's joining everyone in the kitchen. Conversation between Josie, Calvin, and Aubrey taking place here. Josie's just cooking something, and then Calvin and Aubrey are having a conversation as well. These three tend to kind of be getting to know each other. I can tell Aubrey's kind of latching on to Calvin a little bit here as well. Deacon's joined in on the conversation with Aubrey and Josie as well. Aubrey and Josie having a conversation. We've got Jenna up here playing chess alone while everyone's down there making food, conversing. Jenna's really kind of isolating herself. She's you know, Calvin's coming up now to play chess with her, but she's clearly not playing the be everyone's friend type of game. She's picking her one-on-one conversations. Would it work out for her this week? You know, it might with Brianna in charge and in power, but we're not too sure. Talking of Brianna, she's going upstairs to the chessboard also now. Chessboard is one of her favourite places, obviously, and up here Josie has also joined Calvin and Jenna. Brianna's like, I want to play chess, someone needs to move. Looks like Aubrey is joining them up here as well. It's funny how like everyone can be downstairs cooking and then Jenna's up here on her own and then all of a sudden 5 people are up here. Oh, and it looks like Jenna and Josie are off to bed now. Jenna obviously has got her bedroom downstairs now as Brianna is the head of household. Calvin is off to bed now as well. Brianna and Aubrey are just talking. Okay, so as everyone retires for the night, as day 16 comes to an end, HouseGuests will be waking up to the next nomination ceremony in the morning. Who will Brianna nominate for potential eviction from the Big Brother house? It is day 17 inside the Big Brother house, and the HouseGuests are just waking up ahead of this morning's nomination ceremony. Brianna's just waking up there. She knows that she is going to have to make 2 nominations this morning, her first time doing so this season. She's got a couple of people with her eye on, obviously, people that have nominated her, people that have voted against her, but relationships have changed, and it'll be interesting to see who she nominates. We've got some of the house guests are making their way to the bathroom and to make some breakfast as well. You've got Jenna and Calvin in the storeroom making some breakfast. So without further ado, I think it's time for this week's nomination ceremony. House guests, please make your way to the dining room for today's nomination ceremony. There we have it. Brianna has nominated Deacon and Aubrey for potential eviction from the Big Brother house. Who will win the power of veto, and will it be used to save either Deacon or Aubrey from potential eviction? And if so, who will Head of Household Brianna name as the replacement nominee? Join us on Tuesday at 8 AM British time here on Startup Simsy's Let's Play Big Brother 1.